Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Excited to have back Jesse Smith joining us here, the CEO of Heights of Greatness Leadership Institute from beautiful Palmdale, California. Welcome back to the show today. How are you?
I am well. Empowered greetings to you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. A little rainy and cold here in New York, so you probably have better weather than we do, right?
We're enjoying the weather. It's going up to 73 today. I'm
God
excited.
bless. Oh my goodness. All right. So HGLI, or the Heights of Greatness Leadership Institute. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So we're a leadership organization. We focus on leadership development. We help leaders take their leadership to the next level of greatness. We also engage in public speaking. We believe that if you're a leader, you got to know how to communicate, and communicate is the key for success. And so we engage in teaching people and showing them and honing their leadership skills and developing their public speaking skills.
Well, thank you for being here. And if we want to reach out to you, hgli.org, is that the best form of contact for you?
You can reach out to us there, as well as vjessesmith@gmail.com, vjessesmith@gmail.com. Our website is hdli.org. And of
Beautiful.
course, if you want to call me, 661-992-9052. Happy to talk to your listening audience.
Thank you so much. All right. So, what did you have in mind for today? What would you like to share about the work you're doing and how you're helping so many?
I just want people to understand the importance of leadership. Everywhere I go, I talk to people, mainly businesses, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people who are just starting out, nonprofit organizations, directors, and they always ask the question, what can we do to get our organization better? Where can we go to the next level? And I always have to bring it back to leadership. That leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less, as John Maxwell teaches. But I also encourage people to follow their calling. I always tell people, you know what? You need to get fired before you get hired. That sounds crazy, right? Get fired before you get hired. I had to get fired in order to get hired. And when I say get fired, I mean, sometimes we're doing things that we really don't enjoy doing, but it's making us a living. But when you get fired for doing something that you know you have a calling on, that's where you really begin to enjoy who you are, what you do, and what leadership is all about. And so I had to, when I was working before and I enjoyed my job, but I literally had to get fired. I had to come out of my comfort zone and move into my empowerment zone. And I got hired. And what was my hire? What was the hiring that I wanted? It was my calling, right? And we need to actually start as leaders following our calling. Don't do a job just because you have a job. Do a job because you have a calling on that job. And that's what it's all about. Don't follow a career. Follow a calling. When you do that, oh my God, you take your leadership, you take your business, you take your organization to the next level of greatness. That's what I want to emphasize to people. Leadership is important. It's key. And unfortunately, businesses and companies don't put too much energy into it.
Got it. Well, let me ask, what if people feel like they have this drive they want to do, but they don't know how to do it? Doesn't that happen to a lot of us?
Yes, yes. All you have to do pretty much is first know what you want to do. That's important. Focus and vision is critical. So if there is something inside your heart that you know you've been wanting to do, but you never got a chance to do it, I'm going to encourage people to step out on faith. I'm going to encourage people to come out of their empowerment or their comfort zone and go into their empowerment zone. Don't look at the resources or the lack of resources that folks that may not have. When you step out, I guarantee you there are people out there who are ready and willing to help you. But you know what? They got to see you. They got to see you. And if you don't make yourself available, if you don't show up and allow your leadership to show up, people will never be able to find you. I love there's a saying that says, I have to find you where you are. And that's what I come from a spiritual background. So for me, God is everything. And I just know for me, God says, I will find you and meet you where you are. You don't have to be great. You don't have to be grandiose. You just got to be there. You got to show up. And when you show up, that's when your leadership shows up. And that's where people will show up to actually help you get where you want to go. I think it was Zig Ziglar who said, if you help more people, the more people you help, the more you will get help in going where you want to go. And that's essential. Follow your
Beautifully
heart.
said. I love it. Thank you so much. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Follow your heart.
what did you want to work on for today? I know you're a coach, inspirational speaker, you have
Yeah.
mastermind groups. What was in particular for today?
For me, I want to focus on leadership. As a leader, you have to know when to make some shifts, right? And so as a leader, you got to know when things are working and when things are not working and when to leave things
Yeah.
alone. Unfortunately, sometimes we push things
Yeah.
and we keep pushing it and it's not working. So sometimes we have to engage in a leadership. I have Mastermind Circle Leadership Workshop coming up on August 23rd, pardon me, August, well, I'm all the way in August, April 23rd, that I want to invite people to come to. You can look it up on Eventbrite. It's called Making the Leader Shift in Your Leadership. Making the Leader Shift in Your Leadership.
I like that.
And in order to really have an effective leadership, you got to be able to be willing to make a shift. And sometimes that shift is uncomfortable. Sometimes that shift makes you feel like you're not ready for it, but that's when you really have to do it. And so I want to encourage, and I just want to talk a little bit about today about making the shift from your career to your calling. And that sometimes means leaving your job. It means coming out of your comfort zone. But I'm encouraging you to step out of that zone. When we do the leadership mastermind group that we're going to do on April 23rd, we're going to be challenging people. So we have what's called thinking partners. We have like-minded individuals coming together in one room, and this time it'll be on Zoom, and you'll be meeting a number of people from different vocations in life. But what they're doing is not a job. What they're doing is their calling. And so they love what they're doing, and they're successful at what they're doing. They're making money doing what they want to do, and they're loving it every day. And that's only because they made a shift from a career to a calling. And so that's why I'm encouraging people, when you follow a career, you subject yourself to being fired. I'm gonna just say that. But when you have a calling, you are always aspiring to something that cannot limit you where you desire to go. So follow your calling.
Oh, follow your calling. And it happens sometimes. We lose our guests, but we love our guests, and that's okay. I'm sure we'll get them right back. In the meantime, what we'll do is take a quick break here. V. Jesse Smith, don't forget hdli.org, Heights of Greatness Leadership Institute, and really the coaching, the art of inspirational speaking, they really can help you. And I know him since childhood, always had this greater power and sense to help people. And he's been here doing this for so many years with amazing mentors. I know we spoke before about Les Brown, John Maxwell, Charles Barron, but he's here to help. So if there's poor leadership happening, unproductive talk, gossip, failure to communicate personally or in your business, this is the man to help you. So stay tuned. We will be right back with more.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby. The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Have you ever sat in a room at your house and thought, there's so much more that this room could say about you? Your home should tell your story, and I want to help you tell it. Hi, my name is Rebecca Marks. I am the lead designer and owner of Blue Lily, an interior design company in Eastern North Carolina. I want to help you make your space your home, so contact me today at bluelilyspace.com.
Hi, welcome to Everything Outdoors. Can I help you find anything?
Hey, yeah. Can you point us to the camping gear?
Sure, aisle 2.
Snowboarding? Just bought a new Nissan Pathfinder. It's got intelligent 4x4, and we want to hit the backcountry.
Aisle 18.
And the boats?
Are you sure you can do all this?
Up to 6,000 pounds towing, we're good to go. Oh, where's the scuba gear?
Return to rugged in the all-new 2022 Nissan Pathfinder. Available intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Towing capability varies by configuration. See Nissan Owner's Manual for proper use.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Are you struggling with your relationship? Do you need help communicating your needs to your partner? Hi, my name is Nirmala Bitraj, and I'm founder of Aligned Self. We offer relationship therapy services. I help my clients to develop an understanding of yourself, to transform the relationships in your life by teaching you how to communicate with others in your life, whether it be a partner, a family relationship, communicating at work, or even in friendships. book a session with me, you can contact me at alignedself.co. That's ALIGNEDSELF.co. And let's get started today.
Welcome back, V. Jesse Smith. How are you?
I am well. I tell you, the age of technology, man, you just never know what's going to happen.
It happens. Let's continue. Where do we leave off?
We're talking about, how does somebody find their why, and I just want people to know, if you've got a calling on your life, and you do, you have to really go within yourself and find out what is it that you've been called to do. I'm convinced that when you find your why, you will find your way. When you find your why, you will find your way. When you find why you feel that you want to do something, you're going to figure out a way on how to do it. And that's what people need to get in contact with and get in touch with. For that's leadership, right? Leadership is being able to identify your innate gift, that gift that is inside of you, that gives you the ability to do what you do best. Now, other people could be doing what you're doing, but they don't do it as well as you do. They don't do it as great as you do. They don't do it as skillful as you do. And because you've been doing it the way you've been called to do it, you will be successful in doing it. So I really want to encourage people, find your why, you'll find your way. And that's really your calling.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. And how do we contact you again?
You can contact me, area code 661-992-9052, 661-992-9052. And you can reach me by way of email, vjessesmith@gmail.com. Look, I want to talk to you. I want to help you get to the next level of greatness. I want to help develop your leadership, own it, and make it be what it's been called to be. So please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you and just be able to connect with you and take you to where I believe God wants you to be, and that's at your best.
I love your inspirational verbiage and the way you speak. You've always been so engaged and loving. What inspires you to be here to do all this work?
I love people. I love people. I value people. I think when you love people, you value people, and you know what your calling is, what you've been called to do. You get up every single day, not thinking about a job, but you get up every single day doing what you know, what you love. And that's what I do. A career is about you, but a calling is about others. And I want to re-emphasize that a career is pretty much about you. But when you have a calling, you're more concerned about others because that's something you've been connected with. A career you choose, but a calling is chosen for you. That's something that you were born with. It's an innate gift that you have that nobody else can have. Now, you got to just exhibit it. You got to show it. You got to express it. And it's scared. It's frightful. You don't know how people are going to respond. People might laugh at you. People might. Don't worry about it. You've been called to do what you've been called to do. And there's an ear. There's somebody that needs to hear your story. Somebody needs to hear what you've been going through. And if it worked for you, trust me, it'll work for them too. You have a mission and a purpose and a calling in life. Step up to the challenge and do it. That's what motivates me, when I can add value to people. And I'm able to get paid at doing so, right? When you add value to people, you also add money to your life. And that's why in that word value, which has 5 letters, you also see money has the same thing. It's value. People are looking at, I want more money. I want more money. I want more money. You will get more money. Watch this, if you add more value.
Interesting. And you're teaching people how to do that, right?
That's what I love doing. That's why I want to connect with you. Join my mastermind April 23rd. You can go to eventbrite.com and put in Making the Leader Shift to Leadership. And you can register there. It is $150, but I guarantee you it's worth it. You will be blessed by it, and you will come back for more, because we're teaching things that other people are not teaching. We're talking about value, how we value you, and how you can use these leadership principles to make a shift in your life to begin to do what you've been called to do. That's your calling, not your career.
All right. Well, how do we get started to work with you? I mean, there's a lot that you offer. Could you share that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the ways to get started is, first of all, call me up, right? Show up. You got to show up, right? Reach out to me at 661-992-9052. What I do is I have an actual consultation with you for about 30 to 40 minutes, where we actually connect with you and find out, what is it that you want to do? What have you been doing? Who have you been doing it with? Why aren't you doing what you want to do? I mean, there's an assessment. What we want to do in that meeting is identify your innate gift. What is it that you really love doing? And it doesn't have to be speaking. It doesn't have to be something grandiose. If you have a calling just to do some knitting, if you have a calling because you like art, it doesn't matter. All you got to do is know what that calling is, and it will make you money. I promise you, it will make you money. That's God created us. When you have a gift that people want, they will search you out. I forget what poem, what poet said it. I forgot. I think it may have been uh, either Paul Laurence Dunbar or another poet that said, if you can build a better house, a better mousetrap, or a better tree than your neighbor, even if you are out in the woods, the world will make a beacon path to your door. It means they will find you but you got to be able to put your leadership on display, to put your gifts on display so that people can find you. So we go through a thorough and detailed consultation with you. It's an assessment. It's a DISC assessment that we generally go through with, and we show you, we show you what strengths you have. We show you with things that you may not be strong at. And what we tell people is that we want you to focus on your strengths. It's a dangerous thing, and I know it sounds crazy, but it's a dangerous thing to try to focus on your weaknesses. That's not where you're going to be strong at. That's not where you're going to be paid at. That's not where you're going to add value to people. So you don't want to focus on your weakness. You focus on your strength. Somebody said, how can we grow bigger than where we are? Here's how you do that. You get better at what you're doing. You get better at what you're called to do. And the only way you do that is focusing on your strength. And that's what we highlight. And we literally take you through a step-by-step process. You won't get lost. Listen, what you have in me is a thinking partner. I mean, I'm a mentor as well, but I believe we need thinking partners today, people that will help you think outside the box, because the answer to your question is not in me. The answer to your question is not in some other teacher, but the answer to your question resides right within you. You just need somebody to help you think it out. And when you think it out and you begin to say, I guarantee you, in your first meeting with me in our organization, you will go, oh my God, I didn't even realize that. Maybe I am called to do it. I see it now, Jesse. I promise you that's exactly the experience you will feel. And if you join us on the mastermind on April 23rd, I want to encourage you, sign up. We only have 10 spots. I think we're now at 7. I think we may have 3 spots left. I'm getting things brought to me every day. We keep it at a minimum because we want to be able to work with people, right? There are a lot of people wanting to be part of it. If you don't get part of it this time, we do it every 3 months. And so you'll be a part of the next go around. But we try to limit it because we want to be able to help people. We want people to take their leadership to the next level of greatness and do what God has called them to do. That's their calling. I mean, yeah, that's their calling. That's their vocation. So that's what we focus on.
All right. Well, we still have 5 minutes left in the show. What else is on the agenda for today that's important to you?
The other thing I'd like to share with people is that, there are 3 kinds of leaders, and I identified these leaders because we all go through different seasons. Generally, it's the new leader, right? The new leader is pretty much scared, don't know what to do next, wondering how well I'm going to make it. We focus on you because we know that you're a leader. We know that you have greatness inside of you. So we give you the steps to actually get out there and start leading. Then there's the leader who's been out there for a little bit, but they're not sure. They've tried to do what they wanted to do, and it fortunately didn't work. We will help you identify those gaps. There are some things that you were doing that was not successful. We're going to help create a shift in you so that you'll be able to do what you've been called to do. We don't have to teach you leadership. You have experience with some leadership, and so we're going to help you with that. And then there's the seasoned leader, the leader who's been out there, who's a president of a company, who knows exactly what they're doing, but yet they're not growing. They're not growing. And one of the ways that we work with those kind of leaders is that we do an assessment of their organization, an assessment of people who are under them. We work with them and we find out where is there a gap where people are not communicating. We've learned in doing this that leaders, often seasoned leaders, those leaders who have been out there, they're perfect. They're great at directing, but they're not too great at communicating. And so we do a lot. These seasoned leaders, they do a lot of directing, but not enough communicating. And because there's a lack of communication, unfortunately, there's a lack of growth and development in the organization. And so we help those 3 seasoned leaders. And that's something that if that interests you, if you've been part of that, if you fall in either one of those categories, look, don't just sit there and not do anything. It's time to take your business, your corporation, your company, your nonprofit organization, your entrepreneurship to the next level of greatness. Don't allow somebody to stop you. Listen, the sky is the limit. We want to help you get there. We believe that experience shapes your leadership until your leadership kicks in to shape your experience. And that's why we teach leadership. I hope I can answer that in 5 minutes.
I think you can. We still got 3 more left, so continue.
Awesome. The other thing I would love to share with people when we talk about a career is something that you can do, but a calling is something that you must do. Please write that down. A career is something that you have to do or that you can do, but a career is a calling that you must do. So it's like you can't even help yourself. You want to do this. I know I'm talking to some of your listeners out there who really know they got something to do, but they've been stuck and don't know how to do it. They've been stuck, and every time they may have tried, things may have happened that have pushed them back. Listen, don't let that stop you, okay? Don't let a career stop you. If you got to work from 9 to 5, work from 9 to 5, but from 5 to 12 or from 5 to 3 a.m. in the morning, you need to work your gift, work your calling, work your anointing. A career is measured by success, but a calling is measured by significance. You got to measure your significance, all right? I don't want people, we can easily be successful. You can get on a job and make a lot of money, but still be miserable. That's technically considered success, but is it significant? Are you making a significant impact in the life of those whom you're coming in contact with? If you are, then great. Keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not, if you're being honest with yourself, if you really know that you can do better, listen, connect with us. Connect with us. We want to help you. We want to take you to the next level of greatness. We know that you can do more than what you're doing now. Okay, so please reach out to us. We don't want you stuck in a career. We want you stuck on your calling. Okay, that's where you add value to yourself and you add value to everyone else. So reach out to us at 661-992-9052 or vjessesmith@gmail.com. Heights of Greatness Leadership Institute would love to work with you and take you to the next level of greatness.
Aw, thank you so much. Pleasure having you back here, V. Jesse Smith. We appreciate your time. If someone's interested to connect with you, you offer an initial discovery call?
Yes, absolutely. At 661-992-9052. It's free. You don't have to pay for anything. We just want to connect with you. Right. We want to add value to you. So please reach out to us.
Thank you again. You have a great day. To all of our listeners, stay tuned. More of the show's coming right up after the break. Please stay with us. Thanks again.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.